Hey everyone, welcome to PS with Jennifer Powell. I am Jen, the owner and lead injector at Powell Studio in Hanover, Massachusetts. I want to say thank you to everybody for your continued questions. This podcast has been really exciting, being able to drive new topics and conversations based on your questions. So thank you to everyone who is taking time to visit the website www.thepowellstudio.com, where you can find all of our future or past episodes and future episodes that are to come, as well as ask questions that keep the conversation going. So if you've been listening, thank you so much for your feedback, and thank you for sharing with those who you know are curious about all of the topics that are coming up to light. These have all been casual conversations that I have been having in my room with clients for years now, and realizing that when you guys try and replicate them for your friends or try and share the information in a thoughtful way, that it's hard to remember all these details. So this podcast is to educate and to share all information I have and all the tools I have to help you succeed in this aesthetic world and have excellent experience, and so that you can make thoughtful decisions about choosing your provider, about what treatments are best for you, about how to reach your goals and have unique outcomes that are going to meet your individual needs. So today's conversation is about laser and summer treatments. And so I think if you are anything like me, for years, I have always been like, okay, I'm going to work hard all fall, because by the time the summer is over, I would feel like a heel and be like, I need to get this summer skin off. We're going to work hard all winter. We would chemical peel and laser and do all the things. And come spring, all of that hard work would kind of go to pot. I would feel my pigment coming up, and I would be discouraged that I had made all of this investment of time and energy. And then you would hear, okay, well, you can't do that in the summer because you're sun sensitive. You can't use lasers because you could get burnt because they gravitate towards pigment. And you can't do this in the summer because you're gonna get you're more likely to get a sunburn. And so every year I would cut the summer off, and I would feel like I was under construction come September. So having this conversation about different treatments and different lasers that are safe in summer is really exciting to me, because if you are anything like me, you are paused right now and you are noticing changes in your skin that you're not appreciating. We feel very dull in the summer because the sun is exposing us to UV rays that break collagen down. And our skin, which is sometimes really nice, has more hydration to it because there's humidity in the air, which is awesome, but not when you have oily skin. And so when I talk to anyone about seeking any services, I do start with the basics of sebum. Sebum is the oils we create in our skin. And so when our sebum is out of whack and we are producing too much, we can have oily feeling skin that is really frustrating because it's hard to treat any condition. When we have out of control sebum that's dysfunctional, it creates dysfunctional skin. And so some of the concerns we hear about are melasma, that's pigment that people are suffering from, that can be caused by heat, it can be hormonal, but it creates a blotchiness of pigment. It's something that I personally struggle with and have as an ongoing condition that I need to continuously treat and keep at bay. There's acne, which is a huge challenge and doesn't come with a lot of opportunity for great treatment plans that are not frustrating or come with really difficult medications that can have huge complication risks. And getting to the root cause of balancing that sebum before you go and address it with anything else is so important. So we always precondition our clients with the ZO Skin Health Regimen because it's going to get back to the basics of controlling those oils and balancing a consistent exfoliation of the skin so that your barrier function is strong and your oils are exactly where they need to be. Some other concerns is chronic inflammation. So when you have an excess of sebum, you have a lot of inflammation in the skin, and that is what creates rapid aging. So we have wrinkles in the skin and, finer lines or enlarged pores because we're losing collagen, but they also have a lot of aging that can happen because the sebum is out of control. And the last condition that is most commonly reported is rosacea. So when you have an excessive amount of redness in the skin, it's very sensitized. I know I talk to a lot of people about gut health when we discuss rosacea, but it's also about sebum dysfunction and having it be in an excess of amount. So we want to precondition everybody when we talk about summer sessions and summer treatment plans, because we need to keep the oils that we're producing at an amount that our body as an individual needs in order to stay healthy. So when you have those oils under control, you can then move forward addressing any of those concerns and actually seeing outcomes that you are hoping to achieve. So I know I personally had made the mistake of using a laser for my pigment, and my sebum was out of control, and I didn't know because it was at bay when I first started. I started to notice it, and when I took the heat to my pigment that I had, I made it worse. So I woke it up, I stimulated it, and because my sebum was out of control and I hadn't preconditioned with the right products, my pigment got worse instead of better. And that is something I try to teach everybody that comes through the door is I am not trying to sell you on skincare. I'm trying to make sure that you have great outcomes because you have protocols in place that drive good outcomes, predictable outcomes. I don't want you to laser. I don't want you to do anything if you are not going to have your skin's base strong, healthy, and with oils that are under control. It leaves room for error. And so I would always recommend preconditioning your clients with a protocol like the ZO Getting Skin Ready, where you have the ability to cleanse, to balance sebum, to continuously exfoliate and protect and build a healthy skin barrier function. And so this summer, I am still continuing on with many of our treatments. I had myself PRX and microneedling. I was fortunate enough to be part of a photo shoot last week and totally outside my comfort zone. I had gone to Costa Rica with my family. My pigment was flaring everywhere. It was driving me crazy. And I had actually, unfortunately, backed off of my retinol, not intentionally. I usually use retinol every single day, but I forgot it when I went away to Costa Rica. So I had to build back up on my retinol, which does come with an anticipated reaction. And you'll have redness, you will have flaking. These are normal things. And forever I would say, oh, I don't want to use my retinol in the summer. And now I realize you can absolutely use your retinol all day, every day. You just need to wear your sunscreen and be responsible, maybe using, a hat or grabbing an umbrella when you can to sit in the shade in your face so that you are protecting this investment and making sure everything is aging in an appropriate manner, slow, and in reverse, instead of rapidly, because we are not being responsible with our opportunity to stay in maintenance instead of letting things go for the summer season and then being under construction come fall. So when I came to realize, someone made a statement to me, I'm sure it was Anna, my rep, who had said, Jen, there are people who live in Florida all year long and in Arizona and all these hot places, the desert, and they are using retinol all day, every day. And they do lasers and they are still living and not taking the whole year off because they live in a hot environment. I'm like, oh, you're right. So we have an opportunity to provide several services at Paul's Studio. What I got the most recent question about was, how come you now have a laser that is safe in summer? And so we have our pairing of the Hollywood Spectra and the Hollywood Ultra, and we pair the two of these together in order to drive an incredible outcome of minimized inflammation, acne prevention, decreased pore size, exfoliated skin, and lighter pigment, all while staying safe in the summer. The difference between these lasers is that they are attracted to water. And so a lot of our lasers have different targets depending on the wavelength that comes out of them. Some will go for blood. If you're looking at vessels and you have blood vessels on the legs, or capillaries that are broken on the face, that wavelength is going to target blood. And if you are going to be in the sun or you have a tan on your face, that is not the time to treat those areas, because you need as much variation in between the skin and that blood in order to get the desired outcome, but also not have a complication. If you treat that, it cauterizes the blood, it coagulates it, and it will eventually break up and dissipate. But if you sit in the sun, you can have staining of that blood that will never go away. So that is not the right services to be having in the summer months. With the Hollywood Spectra and the Ultra, they are two lasers that are gravitating towards water. And so with the skin being so hydrated in the summer, it is not laser wavelengths that are going to create burns, but instead they retexturize the skin. They actually blow the sebum out of the pores. They improve clogged pores because we have all of this sunscreen that's sitting in our skin. And so having an event-ready facial with the Hollywood Spectra and the Ultra have been amazing opportunities that we didn't have in the past. So I'm so grateful that we added these two products and are having huge success with our clients all year long and not taking these breaks. If you're looking for laser hair removal, that's through IPL, or looking for an IPL session and you have a tan, that is looking for pigment. So it's looking for your melanocytes that are hyperactive, and it has the opportunity to burn you because it's looking for that pigment. The wavelength and the heat that come along with that laser can be really dangerous. So I always tell people, if you have any tan at all, we cannot do the laser hair removal with the IPL. We cannot do IPL for rosacea or for pigment, because it's just not going to be a great outcome in the summer months. So when we were able to invest in the Ultra and the Hollywood Spectra and realize it's good for all skin types, there is very minimal downtime. It leaves you event ready and it's safe all year long. I was thrilled that I wasn't going to have to feel like that heel come September. So I have maintained my Zeo regimen. I am still using my retinol every single day. I'm building back up. I had someone yesterday ask me, hey Jen, tell me a little bit about the retinol you use. Well, I use 2 retinols, but what you need to know, depending on what your regimen looks like, is your goal is to use 1 gram of retinol every day. And that is so that you get over the hump of having that redness and having that flaking and having that anticipated reaction. My analogy is to say, if you trained for a marathon 3 days a week, would you ever not be sore? And the answer is no. You need to be training up to every day so your body knows what to expect and you can get over that hump and you can recover more rapidly. And so you are able to run the full marathon come the big day. And so if you always dip your toes in a little bit of retinol and you are not using a full dose, you're not going to see the change that you want to see in your skin. And if you aren't using it every day, you're always going to have flaking and this anticipated reaction and this annoying state. When I was fortunate enough to meet Dr. Obagi, he had made a statement, 2 pumps retinol good, 10 pumps beta. Nobody die, nobody die. And so you may have a period of transition time where you are going to have redness and flaking, but there's so much hydration in the air in the summer months. It's actually an amazing time to build on your retinol in my eyes. You just need to be able to use your sunscreen, use your hat. If you need a Pal Studio baseball cap to protect you, you just let us know. We have plenty. So we have opportunity for you to continue to maintain your skin health and to stay balanced, not only with beautiful skincare protocols, but also laser treatments, PRX and microneedling, and all of these things are safe and efficient and effective through the summer months. So I look forward to answering any questions that this podcast may have presented. I hope that this was helpful information. And if you have any further questions, remember to visit the website. I want to make sure that you guys are sharing this with any friends that you think may have value to this information and be excited to learn a little bit more about how they can maintain their summer skin and protect the investment that they work so hard on all winter long. And until we meet again, I hope you have a wonderful day.